This is the half car before we started tearing it apart. As you can see, still the old paint. The rims aren't painted at all. The stop bar is still that plastic piece that I broke on the other side of it. There's no pieces, nothing done on the back yet. I don't know if you guys saw my last video of the half car, but it had casters on the back of the piece of wood just going under it. Now we're going to do it a little more, I wouldn't say professionally, but we're going to do it a little more permanent this time. So after an all-nighter, this is what the car looks like. I got the front end mostly together. I just need to get the light bar and then wire that thing up. Both doors are still functional. They stick a little bit because they have been beat a lot, but for the most part, they still work. As you can tell, I was working on the brakes. Don't mind my crappy welds. They'll look better when they're under paint. So it's been a day. I went through and we were having a lot of issues with the brakes. We couldn't get them to work. The calipers were actually frozen up, so I ran all new lines. I know I'm not supposed to run it over the top like I did, but I frankly just don't care. So new calipers, the brakes and rotors are still the same because they were relatively newer when I had the car on the road, when the brakes actually went. I haven't gotten the back end together at all yet. And still, I don't know, the design I had for it, I gotta figure out something else to do for that. I haven't really figured that out. So, this is about a week with the car in the garage now. It's finally mobile again. It's not on jack stand, it's on its own wheels. My terrible welding job on the piece for the back of these leaf springs. I use the same holes as I used for that board. The leaf springs, I didn't even know how they exactly worked, so I have to put the smaller one on the bottom of the caster instead of on top. I gotta clean up the 2 bars I put there and hopefully fix the brakes and then put in the crossing, and it should be a functional vehicle, and then it's all detail work from there. So this is what it looks like out of the shop. You can actually see more of the details I put into it. The push bar, new grill for it and everything. It will be painted, all that stuff. Top of there. There's gonna be lights on top of that. Like I said, we gotta change out the leaf springs and do that. So me and Emmett here got the springs all switched around now. Now the smaller one's on the bottom, so it gives us that heavier suspension. We have discovered that we're definitely gonna need the racing harness, because when I sit in there and Emmett shakes it, I bounce a lot. So we're definitely gonna make sure that's in there nice and secure when we're getting this thing going over the big bumps and stuff. Look at that. I gotta say, after doing all this welding and fabrication work, I have a lot more respect for them. This stuff was days on end of me out here working on this. People do this in a couple days at a time, and it's crazy. I am never gonna claim that I'm a fabricator or a welder, but I did all this by myself, so I don't think I did too bad of a job for, you know, never doing anything like this ever. I did fabricate the scoot bike with the little scooter in front, and oh, if you saw that before, I actually fixed that because we broke it. Took a steel rod and I just screwed it onto the scooter, and then I just welded it in there, and we painted it all up, and yeah, I don't think that one's going anywhere anymore. But this is the most, and probably going to be the last time I've ever done this much fab work. It is tiring. I've been out here for probably two weeks now. Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, 14 days, about 2 weeks. Working on this, just the fabrication part, getting everything ready, getting everything fixed up. I still need to go and get a master cylinder. Alright, so the tire piece is mounted, and the tire's on. It actually looks kind of nice. Looks very nice. Alright, so I took it on a test drive today, and I had a lot of issues because I thought I could just, you know, drive without brakes, and that didn't go well. But I connected those two to make it a little stronger on turns and stuff, because the casters were starting to bend the leaf springs and the flex metal I got there. Ended up bending that wheel like all the way over. I bent it back and then welded this on there, and it works fine now. Don't mind my really crappy welds. This is all junk stuff. I didn't even clean it up. I just used the 6011 junk weld stuff just to make everything hold together, because that's how much I care about this car. I got all this torn apart for now. I got the master cylinder out. It's out there. I'm going to get a new one of those because I'm so sick of not having brakes, because today I took way too much of a turn, bent all that, and then the pipe is in there now for reinforcement because I bent it. But no, everything else works really well. I'll have this video up before it's all done, because it'll be a really long video of everything. I don't know, might just make one big video, who knows. Alright, so the back is done. Fabrication with this back end for strength and, you know, utility use is all done. There might be like something coming off the back. Maybe I'll put some lights on there for stoplights or something, if I got some extra tail lights laying around, so people can see me stopping. I don't know yet. But for here, I left some extra space so I could put some holes in it for these. I got some off-roading lights that are actually in really good condition off of one of the tractors we sold. So I'm going to fix that issue, and hopefully these brakes will work, and if they don't, I'm gonna cry, because they're all brand new now. Everything, cylinder, the lines, the calipers, everything's brand new. And I gotta clean this thing. Whew, it needs a cleaning. But I don't know. I need a windshield. I cracked it when I was welding and doing all my fun stuff. I cracked it pretty good. So I'm probably going to spend $40 and go get a new windshield eventually. And God bless America sticker, because, you know, what other country do you see building redneck caster carts? Other than brakes, I have to pull off the doors and the hood, because I'm going to do something special with those, but the rest of the car is just going to be blacked out, except for the tires. I'm going to do white walls, just like I did the original half car, except the half car is now turned into the caster cart, and it's looking so cool. I'm going to see if I got any brake lights laying around, and I'll throw those in the back of there so anyone following me can see that I'm braking. Like I said, the light bar, I don't know if I'm going to go the full light bar yet or two individual ones, because if I do a full light bar, I'm going to hit this here. So if I just take like a small one or something on each side, and then I put up the 4 on top that I got those 4 there, and then I could put 2 in here instead of running one big one. And I think the little 2 would actually be cooler. And then my little sister came up with the idea, we're going to write enhanced stop bar across the front. Alright, car's completely stripped for paint. I still need a new master cylinder, because when I was using this one, they gave me the little pieces to thread into it and then run tubes to the reservoir again, and I pumped it through, but the guy at the automotive store said I'm not supposed to do that. He doesn't know why they gave me those pieces. So they said they'll exchange it and they'll give me a new one, and I'll do it a different way for like the billionth time. But we'll see if that works, if that's really the issue, and then we'll bleed everything again. The doors are gone. Isabel, the doors are gone. What'd you do?
I didn't do it. I just helped.
So, I got a couple days left until I want to get this done. But the hood and the doors are going to be the only part that is not black. I'm blacking out the whole rest of the car except for the white walls I'm going to do too. Because we put white walls in the original car and they looked really cool. But the whole car's going to be blacked out. And the doors and the hood I'm going to do something a little different with. And right now I'm sanding them down and getting them ready for primer and some Bondo. Because I got cracked here. And then I'm going to do something really cool. I know it sounds stupid, but I'm going to take the body filler. I'm going to fill this all in. I'm going to do more. It's going to be really cool when it's done, hopefully. So, Bondo's on. They're all sanded down. The doors and the hood. And now when I get back out here after dinner, I got to take out the master cylinder again. Got the new master cylinder today. So that'll be, I'm going to do it right way this time. Hook that up, get everything checked. Because this is leaking right here too. Right up in here, that little piece there. So I'm going to switch out a couple pieces and see if I can get it to hold and work. If not, then I don't know. Might have a little bit of a brake leak, but if I can get the brakes to work, I think that's the only issue I'm really having is I can't get them to actually stop the car. I don't care if there's a leak, but I need it to stop the car. Alright, all we got to do is tape and paint. And then we're ready to go. This stuff's going to look really good, I hope. And then I got primer, old primer from one of the old cars I was painting. And while he's dry, I can put on the second coat of primer. I'm putting 2 coats on just to be sure, you know. And then I'm going to put the brake system on, and hopefully that works. Because if it doesn't, I'm going to be very sad. We don't have brakes, because the brakes were kind of like the only thing that was seriously wrong with the car. Other than, you know, it's in half. So if I get those working, the car will be done for maintenance-wise, and then all I got to do is all this detail work. All primed up. Now we're going to wait for them to dry, and it's actually really bad in here. I had to close the doors because there was dust and stuff outside, so I had to wear a mask, and I'm going to wait until this all dries. I'm just going to keep painting today, and then probably just get the brakes in later tonight or something. Finally got brakes! Yes! I think I tore up Mom's lawn a little bit.
Just a little.
Packing it up for the night. The doors and the hood are painted. Car's brakes actually work. They're not the best, but they work. I will focus more on brakes and, you know, if this thing is done and it works and everything stays working, I'll make the brakes work way better. But for right now, we're gonna do our detail, clean this thing, make it look pretty for the 4th of July, and hopefully get entered into some cool contests, and hopefully get some cool photography of this car when it's all done. Like I said, I got the off-roading lights on top. I got the 2 LED lights over there. They're actually perfect for what I wanted to do. I was just checking. There's one, but they fit. They're not the best lights in the world. They're Walmart ones, but they'll fit right under there, right into the hood, and I could wire them up through anywhere in here and wire them up right where I need to. I'm going to change out the terminals, and I got a battery in the Ranger that I'm going to use in this thing. The Ranger's going to be going in a few days here. So when that Ranger goes, I'm going to rip all that apart, change out the battery to what I need it to be. Honestly, what's going to hold the battery in here is probably going to be zip ties. I know it sounds like the most redneck thing ever, but zip ties and duct tape is pretty much what's holding this thing together. Alright, doors and the hood are back on it. I know it looks kind of crappy, but you guys haven't seen the final paint job on it yet, so don't be too early to judge, huh? Okay, brakes are done. Everything is done mechanically. Now it's just we got to put the wing on I want to do, some brake lights, the top of the lights, the 2 front lights, We did go a little mudding with it. It's not bad though, not at all. We still have the plastic in here and everything, but gotta get that all cleaned out. And yeah, the box, and oh, this thing's a mess now. All right, so day 2 of testing, I think. We're testing the endos right now. All right, she's all wrapped up and ready for primer. Well, for primer on the body, I got everything all lacquer thinner down to get all the oils off of it because there's brake fluid all over this damn thing. Tires off, those wrapped. Tires over there, I gotta paint these too. I'm gonna paint them a nice black along with the car. All right, so it's about, I think, midnight maybe. But the black is looking good. I ran out already. The front end looks pretty much done. I just gotta finish up there. The primer did good. These wheels though, for just some gloss spray paint and some primer, they actually look pretty dope. So double coated on the rims. The entire back is now done being painted. I got an extra can just in case we do scratch it up or do something while we're going through and finishing up all the stickers. And so I'm all done painting with everything. Car's just drying up now. I touched up the hood, got all of up here painted, all the back and everything like that. I just finished up the white walls and the tire. Looks good. Wheels are on it. Everything's looking good. Paint's all touched up. I just got to get the lights on and get the switches in and everything. And then start decals and get all those done. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, caster cart. I gotta still finish up the lights. They're not hooked up yet. I gotta put the switches in there and the fuses and run the lines. But I got the battery and I got everything else together. And then all that's left is stickers after that. So, we went through this. I put a battery in it. It was out of the Ranger we destroyed. So now I can get in. I don't have to start with the battery pack anymore. Done for real this time. Everything is done. The lights, the wiring has to be cleaned up a little bit, so does the whole interior, but the lights, everything works. The two on there are hooked up automatically. Alright, so the caster cart is done. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun building this thing. I mean, I had a lot of stress with the brakes and some other mechanical issues I had, but the car is good running shape now, and you guys should see it in my next video pretty soon here. I wouldn't say pretty soon, it's gonna be a little bit. I still gotta plan everything out and actually got a full-blown script for this thing, but it should be fun. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope to see you guys soon.